Hello everyone, I'm Chester44, and I'm going to correct a little error I had before. I got the bad ending for this game before, as you're probably going to this to see, and I did a little research because there had to be a better ending than ending up in Earth where everything was destroyed and we were basically about to die from a sandstorm. And it turns out there is a good ending. And I can still do it. In fact, give me a moment, and I'll do the one thing that needs to be done in order to get the good ending. It involves actually looking into a number of other things that we've done and making connections from that, as far as I can tell. Basically, that thing that CW kept telling us to do, to make sure that it was done and make sure that it was right and taken care of, we're supposed to not do that. The battery. For some reason, it's not supposed to be hooked up, and looking around, I think I can guess why. You're also supposed to look into other things from before. Remember that whole discussion about how the tree, way back when, that whole idea Farley had, how doing what you could to try and make sure everything with the trees was working out as it was supposed to. I think it was in order to make sure everything's right, or I don't know. The whole dream she had about how people watching over gardens and the like try to work on making the plants better, in the end just leaving it be and it flourishes. Something like that. I think it relates to this. So we're not going to turn that on, and we're not going to power up the actual machine, and we're going to see what happens. I'm not exactly certain what will happen, but we'll find out soon. I think what was said at one point was something like, the bleeder is effectively preventing the trees from reaching maturity, or something, I don't know. I did a little research and looking into it, I admit. So that makes 3 things that I'm looking into to try to figure out, okay, what's the right thing to do. Alright. We blow this up. And down it goes. I wonder how they managed to hook that up to the dome like that. And there's them. I guess I probably should have gotten a hint from the fact they were all flying over to the battery.
Real good. Not much left. Just waiting for all the natural way of things to happen now. Lots of folks left
There he
behind,
is.
but I reckon they've passed. I don't move real well, carving legs. You can see how useful these tracks is to me.
That is not good quality there.
Capital critters, but they ain't unplugging my battery. We're going home, not wherever.
Yeah, it's actually unplugged.
All right now.
So we're gonna see what's happening.
When the time comes, it works a lot like them little swappers. They'll swap us home. You didn't spend much time here, and that ain't a bad thing. But there were some fine folk. Some real fine folk.
They're all
I
flying
reckon.
around the battery.
I reckon you got the best seat in the house up there. Well, this is it.
Oh, here goes.
No,
Um,
no. No. This can't. I don't. I checked. I checked everything.
yeah,
So help me. Did you do this? One carbon chance. I got no idea where we're headed now.
Now we'll find
You're
out.
sending us to hell for all I know.
Well, now we'll find out where we're going. What the?
She got it right. She got it right.
That's... Huh.
CW. Cecil.
Caroline? Caroline?
This is so incredible.
Dear Lord. You make it. How many others?
We all made it. I'm heading your way. Stay where you are.
I ain't going nowhere.
So that's what it was. Okay. So that's the whole thing. The idea, I guess, was that... When is this? Is this... Okay. Hopefully you guys can get me down from here. But, huh. So I guess that's what the whole thing was. Swapping everything back wasn't a good idea. There was all this conversation before, this wondering that these seeds that teleported them all here was saving them from something. There's never been, like, any hint or suggestion as to what exactly they were being saved from. I mean, nothing ever said, oh, they were about to die or they were on death's bed, but then when they were saved by the seed, all that happened was people were getting abducted and taken away to this other world. This sanctuary of sorts that was providing everything for them in a way. And then at the end here, after all this, the trees finally... Apparently what the bleeder was draining off the energy so that the tree couldn't reach full maturity, I think it said. So effectively what they did was allow it to reach that point, which caused it to teleport the entire tree and everything with it to one other place or something. The only thought I can have for the whole conflict with the battle and everything was that the Mofang did not agree and didn't want this to happen. Either they believed for some reason that maybe one of them had shown up in Earth and realized that everything back in their home world was destroyed and nothing was good. I wonder if the people of Hunrath had gone to the Mofang world and looked out on Arizona, they would have seen how destroyed it actually was. I wonder if they would have realized maybe they shouldn't have done that. I don't know. It's interesting, and that is the better ending, definitely, in a way. I mean, sure, nobody's back home, back on Earth, but considering it's implied that all this was done to save this small group of people, in a way, if that's even the purpose. Maybe it's just happened to happen. Maybe it is entirely the tree entirely concerned about itself. The tree, the plant, happened to land here, realize at some point something dangerous is going to happen, so it teleported this massive region along with itself to somewhere else. I still don't get why it ended up teleporting these four locations into the other worlds temporarily. Like, maybe it was just doing it so that it could mature and grow into a point where it could bring itself to this much better world or something. Like the tree was still a seed in a way, now that I think about it. Yeah, there we go. The tree was still a seed, and waiting to warp to... Yeah, it's like a seed that falls off a tree, gets stuck on a living creature, which then walks a great distance before the seed eventually falls off and gestates, becoming a new plant in a completely different location far away. Maybe this was kind of the same way. Each of those domes was kind of like it holding on, in a way, to something, so that it could get strong enough so that it could travel to its final location, where it warped to. It's all I can think of, really. I mean, I'm trying to make sense of this. It's an interesting way they tried to do all this, and... You know, I'll say this now. I really did enjoy this game. And I loved being able to do the Let's Play of it this whole time. No, we don't need to watch the credits again. Although it's just going to be a black screen here. But, I enjoyed being able to do it and actually talk through all my thoughts and thought process and all that throughout this whole thing. I like being able to do that. And I hope you guys liked watching me fumble about. Sorry that I had to refer to walkthroughs 3 times, in effect. But this is the way of missed games. They're always difficult and hard to figure out, and the fact I only needed it 3 times, I'm proud I managed to only do it that much. So, I'm happy. I enjoyed it. I hope you guys did too. So, that's going to be the end of this episode and the end of the Obduction Let's Play. There isn't really anything else. As far as I could see, the only 2 achievements left that I didn't get were one for effectively being killed by the Mofang device that was left over there, because you'd have to be either an idiot or completely unobservant to realize that that's the thing that you're supposed to keep your distance from. And the other ending is for certain Easter eggs, because, when this game was backed, in addition to all the backer rewards, there was a small reward of sorts that basically said, yeah, you buy this reward, and we'll put an Easter egg hidden in the game that only you will be able to know how to find. And I think that's what that achievement is. Someone posted somewhere a way to get one of those, and the others he chose not to for respect out of people who wanted to keep it secret. So I'm not going to say anything about how to get that achievement. Or, well, yeah, it's the only achievement other than the one about involving dying. Yeah. Anyway, that's going to be the end of this episode. So, hope you guys enjoyed Obduction, and I'll see you in my next game. Unless I happen to see you, I don't know, in a domed sanctuary somewhere. Who knows? Could be interesting.